guys, welcome back to another brand new episode of Renewed. I apologize that it's been a long time. I actually have another video that I've been in the process of editing. It's just ran into some more medical complications that have kind of put a damper on things with the eyeballs. Have a surgery coming up in next month, so we'll be hopefully getting that a little bit better taken care of. So it's just kind of put a little damper on things because it's kind of hard to see things most days. So there will be some breaks in between videos. You might notice that this video probably takes a couple days because we only have a little bit of time where my vision's clear enough to actually do something. So for that I do apologize. And moving on to happier news. You guys really seem to like my Mattel Power Shop toy review video, and by that I mean it got more than 100 views, and people commented on it. And there's a gentleman right now. Your username kind of slips my mind, but you were asking about making some trace patterns for yours, and I will be getting back to you as soon as my eyes let me read things, and we'll get those figured out and get those shipped out to you. So we have another, what was originally going to be a review video, and then found out it was broken. So now it's going to be take it apart, fix it, and see if it works one more time. It's a 1950s Cragston freight train, battery-operated tin toy made in Japan. Boxes, it's a little worse for wear. To be honest, I paid a really cheap price for it, and now I'm finding out why. So let me set this box that's got some damage gently. Alrighty, so first off, we have the brand new Harbor Freight batteries. We'll set those off to the side. Here's the battery operated locomotive, and it doesn't work. It's free, everything moves. It's got the light bulb, it's got the hope it works on off switch, and then you just pop open the conductor's area, and normally you just slide these batteries in, close it back up, and flick the switch. But as you can see here, hopefully there's some wires that aren't there. They're definitely broken. I went out to Harbor Freight and I bought the cheapest Harbor Freight soldering iron you could find. Like, I didn't go for the $25 Harbor Freight one that does all the temperature control, or the $50 one with the big old box unit and all that. Nope, I went for the $6 one that doesn't even have an on-off switch. And hopefully it'll work for this. Moving on. We have the coal car. Nothing fancy about it. It's got wheels and a little pucker upper and pucker upper. The paint on all this is it's, call it 50, 60, 70. It's math years old. I'm gonna say right around 60 to 70 years old. So there's that. And then we have the other piece that is broken. Unfortunately, there is two cars that are missing. I can't think of what the other two cars are. I will hopefully have cut in a little blip of me pointing on the box where the two cars are and saying I'm missing those two. I'm missing those two. So we have the other car that has a little bit of damage, the caboose. It is not much damage. The little flag for the flagger guy, the flag is gone. But as the wheels roll, the flagger arm moves up and down. I think that's really cool. Then we have the track here. Very simple track. Just connects together. Mainly does a little oval because that's what they did. And the box has a little bit more damage here. This is supposed to be connected. It's not. And I'm not going to worry about the box. Oh, more stuff. If anybody could tell me why this was left in the box, I don't know if it's important to the train. I don't know if somebody this is what they were using to clean it off when they were done, what little Timmy was using, or Jimmy, or Susie. But I don't know what it's for, so it will stay in the box. This whole set is going to be for sale, whether I get it working or not. Obviously, if I get it working, it's going to be worth a little bit more, but I know somebody out there has one that is just as broken as this one, but in different ways. And maybe they have the two missing cars, and maybe their box is in a little bit better shape, or maybe they have instructions that probably came with this that I don't have. But let's just see if we can get this here locomotive taken apart, and hopefully we can just solder the wires together and put it back together and have it working good, and not having to be rewired with some extremely small wire that I definitely do not have that small of wire. But I have like regular automotive 14-16 gauge wire that at least I hope I do, that should work. But as long as the wire is not broken and the rubber isn't got any cracks in it, which it really shouldn't. It's just the only two bends in it that are exposed are right here, right where they came off. So hopefully we can hook the digital meter up to it that I left in the car. So I'll go grab that, and we'll get that it's putting out some voltages and some numbers, and then we'll be able to kind of test it from there. So we'll be right back with a brief something from our sponsors that we don't have. But if you want to be a sponsor, send me a message. I could definitely use some sponsorships. I am broke. Alright guys, so I'm going to go get some tools, and here's the front of that train. Here's the light bulb, just unscrews, standard light bulb. You can pick it up at any dollar store, hardware store. The filament is missing on it, so we will need to get one before the final reveal, because let's be honest, it's going to look 10 times cooler with that light bulb shining bright as it's going around the track. Here is the side of it. That rear wheel is the drive wheel, and there it's the only one connected to those arms, and it does look like it is missing the smokestack, but it isn't. That is how it is supposed to look. It is missing some railing on the top. There's the drive section. There's that drive motor, and as you can see, that red wire, the positive wire, is disconnected. Yep, see, she's grabbing it, showing you it is disconnected. We are going to resolder that back on, obviously. Here is the back of the train. There is the coupler right there. And let's see, she's going to show you the inside. I do have a better view of it with a better camera that I'll show you guys here in a minute. And it's just a very simple construction. It's just some metal tabs. You just bend those tabs back over, and that whole thing will pop right back off. No problem. I hope. We'll see. And coming up next, we have our friend, the coal car.
And it's very simple construction. Just got the two couplers on either side, front and rear. Both of those swing nicely. Just a four-wheel construction, four little tabs on the bottom. You can bend those tabs up and you can take that coal car off and, clean it, do whatever, and fold it, put it back on, repair it, things like that. And up next we have our final car, the caboose. Once again, very simple construction and very, very detailed for just being a tin lithograph toy, I do have to say. Once again, four little tabs and that whole car can come off, and if you had other cars you can swap them around, stuff like that. That's what I've heard. I haven't actually tried it. There's the wheels spinning nice, and there's that flagger arm. As you can see, it's moving, just running off a little cam lobe on the bottom of that wheel. And boy, could you imagine when that train's just going around the track, that arm's just going to be flying up and down, like he said, way too much coffee. Just going up and down, 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 just really fast. And so there is all three cars. And man, look at the detail on all of those. Look at the color. Isn't that gorgeous?
It was good practice.
So there is the happy cable, the red one. And there's what I'm assuming is the sad cable, negative one. And there, right there, if you can see it, is the original cardboardy paper slip telling you what direction the batteries go. And then there's the contact for the switch and everything up there. This is how it's supposed to look, all assembled. And now we're gonna get it all disassembled, hopefully without breaking anything. Alright, so first off, because of my eyes right now, the girlfriend's gonna do the majority of the work at this time, and I'm just going to explain what she's doing, which is gonna be step one. We're gonna take the battery cardboard thing that I was showing you out, because we found that it did kind of tend to slide in front of the batteries, and we want to eliminate that as a potential problem. And as you can see, they'll show you which way the batteries are supposed to go, and it's pretty neat that it's still in there. Then we're gonna put the Harbor Freight D-cell batteries in, and I did check them. They are testing at 1.58 volts. So then we're going to take the digital meter machine that I can actually see the numbers on, so I'll be looking at that, while she puts the contacts of it on the red wire, the happy cable, and black on the white, which should be the sad cable. And we got nothing. I'm gonna try flicking the switch. We still got nothing. Oh, well, we got something there. 2.5, 2.4, 3.2. Okay, so we got some. So this is forward is on. That is off. So that is really good news. That means we don't have to spend a bunch of time taking it apart, because now we know that A, the switch is good and our wiring is good. It just needs to be resoldered, which I am definitely not going to resolder in the house, because hot liquid dripping on tablecloths and plastic and cardboard, not good. So we're going to take a quick break, let the eyes recuperate, and then we're going to go outside where we can do it a little more safer. If that makes sense.
Okay, so here, girlfriend is taking some sandpaper, cleaning up the contact points on the motor. And of course she takes it out of view to sit there and clean it up. There it is. Hey, we're gonna check continuity on this bad boy real fast, and apparently we may not have continuity, or our continuity tester just can't test continuity on something so small. And here I am just, inspecting it, and saying something about it. Just checking to see if we got continuity, or the motor is bad. It's probably bad. Hope it's not bad, but we'll see as we solder it together anyway. Hey guys, so it's actually day 2, and I'm the cameraman today. And we're just going to try and go ahead and solder that wire back onto the existing motor. I was kind of goofing around with it a little bit earlier, with no batteries or anything like that, and it just kind of rolling the wheels by hand, and the motor spins, but when the train is sitting on its side like that, it likes to come to a point and stop. And then you sit it back up, kind of shake it around a little bit, and it tends to spin freely again. So we're thinking that there is something that is obviously bad inside that is getting in the way of it wanting to spin freely, but we want to see if we hook the wire back up and we put batteries in it, set it on the track where it's standing up and down, if it just decides it wants to take off. We also did seem to notice that the light bulb in front might be a blown bulb, which it removes. It comes out real easy, and I think you can get those at like the dollar store super cheap. Yeah, there's no filament inside it whatsoever. So what we'll do is we'll get it hooked up. We'll see if it runs. If it runs, then the next time we're out in town, we'll get some of them super cheapy light bulbs. We'll put the light bulb in, and then we can do a final reveal that looks a little bit more done-ish. Okay? So Angie, my girlfriend, is going to be doing the soldering because my eyes are not letting me do the soldering. And to be honest, I have never gotten around to doing it. So let me get some tools here. Don't need those. I'll get you the strippers.
Hey, I want the strippers too, but I need to put this pieces of solder.
So she's cleaning up the wire.
These are probably lead solders anyway.
Yeah, she's cleaning up the wire, and we're gonna get it trimmed and fresh and cleaners. So we had a soldering iron somewhere. It got misplaced. So I went to Harbor Freight, and like I said earlier, I picked up the cheapest of the cheapest. Like this is cheap by Harbor Freight standards. It literally doesn't even have an on-off switch. You just plug it in. Gets up to like 750 degrees, I believe. Hopefully, if it does. And the wire that we got, also the cheapest, melts at like 450, so it should be just fine to throw a drop on there. And what happened?
The wire's too small for the smallest stripper, so I will very gently turn it this way. I have to do this on the car.
Super tiny, like these are like telephone wires.
Probably
And
a 20 or 22 gauge.
yeah, telephone wires. And for those of you that don't know what a telephone wire is, it's back when we had landlines, phones with cords attached to them. And then we had wires running underground that were about that size, it's almost super tiny. And yeah, that's way before cell phones. And if you were working on them, like if you're down digging a hole and you come across telephone wires and you accidentally cut them, don't ask how I know this, and you get a phone call. So anywho's, while we're letting the soldering iron heat up, like I said, we're gonna get the wire soldered on. We'll let it cool,
and then we'll throw some batteries in it. We'll set the track up, which is real simple. We'll set it on the track, and then we'll hope that it does something. It might need that. It might be one of those that kind of you get the switch turned on, and then you kind of push it, and then it might take off on its own. Probably not, but we'll see. I mean, it's a Japanese toy. No offense, from the 1950s, and it's definitely worth trying to get it going again. I saw one of these when I was doing my research on that motor that I can't find. I saw one of these, a complete one with a box that was not destroyed. They wanted $300 for it. So it's definitely worth seeing if we can get this guy going back around the track a few more times, And then we'll pass it on to the next person that either if they want to do a full-blown restoration on it, or if they just want it on as a hanger, little wall decoration, something. It's still not hot enough.
It's hot enough. It's just the solder stick is like magnetizing to it, and it's not supposed to do that.
So this solder is cheap. You want me to hold the wire?
No, I just need it to not move. The solder doesn't stick to it.
Sorry about that. My phone was not supposed to make that noise.
Okay,
48th time's the charm. Should I unplug it now?
yeah.
Alright, so it looks like it did what it's supposed to do. It's unplugged. So now we'll let soldering iron cool and we'll find a spot to put it. And then we'll see in a little bit here. So we still got nothing. She's got the prongs on the fresh wire solder, and the switch is on, and it kinda, if you can see, we got numbers 3.25, 3.2, bouncing a little all over the place, but within acceptable range. And we still got nothing at the motor. Motor's still not motoring. So it's probably a dead motor. Might be able to be taken apart and cleaned up, but I don't know, so I'm gonna keep doing some research before I just tear into something that is unfortunately a waste of time. Alright guys, that is a wrap for part 1. We got the wire resoldered on, and we had voltages going to the motor. We just did not have the motor doing motor things. So in part 2, we are hopefully going to take this unit apart, and then we're going to spray some electrical cleaner, automotive electrical cleaner in there, see if we can get all that dirt and debris that's in there all cleaned out, and maybe she'll start doing the thing. And if that is the case, we'll get her all reassembled, we'll get a new light bulb in her, and she will be revealed going around the track looking as pretty as she can be. If it does not work, well, you'll see that in the video as well. And then we'll put her back together and go ahead and sell it as is in non-working condition. So
either way, whether we get it working or not, we'll still have some entertainment, hopefully, for you guys, and maybe some knowledge, both for you guys and for myself. And either way, just go ahead and keep on renewing.